Hi, my name is Sandy Gamino, and I'm here to give a data overview for Mableton Elementary School. Thank you so much for coming. The purpose of this presentation is intended for the school administration and the team leaders. Here, we're going to review demographic changes in the last 3 years. We're going to review Georgia milestone results. We are also going to identify possible outcomes for low achievement among the Latino Hispanic population. In this presentation, we will look at school demographics, including students and teachers, 3rd to 5th grade Georgia milestone data for the past 3 years. Questions that will drive our conversations today are going to be, what are the strengths of our current students? What are the weaknesses of our current students? What can we do to improve student learning? And what are our next steps moving forward? Some information about Mableton Elementary School is that it was established in 1956. It is a Title I school. It is located in Mableton, Georgia. It is part of Cobb County School District. It consists of grades K through 5th, and is one of 3 schools in Cobb that are certified in STEAM. Our first piece of information that we're going to be reviewing is going to be over student enrollment. So here we have data from the years of 2020 to 2021. We have data from 2018 to 2019, and we have data from 2017 to 2018. As you can see, school enrollment has decreased throughout the years. Homes and rents have increased in the last 3 years, so families have had to move to find affordable housing. That could be a reason why there's been a shift in our enrollment. Also, our students are very transient. We have a lot of students that will move back to their country, or they will move to another district. So that could also that could be a reason why our enrollment is being affected. This does raise a very important question. How does this affect student performance? How are these things affecting student learning? This next piece of information, this chart here goes over student enrollment by race and ethnicity. So here we have different subgroups. Our first one is Black. It's going to be in blue. We have Hispanic in orange. We have Asian in gray, and then we have white in yellow. So you can see here the bar graphs, and you can also see the percentages up top. So our Asian population is very, very small, so you can't really even see the bar graph, but you can see the percentage right there for our Asian population. Our highest subgroup population is Hispanic, so they range from 50% to about 53%, and our second highest subgroup is going to be Black. So that ranges from about 32% to 36%. Our lowest is going to be white, and then Asian. Two very important questions that arise from this data is, are we providing effective culturally responsive curriculum so our students can be successful? And do we feel like we need training and support in this area? Do we have enough resources? Do we have enough materials that are culturally responsive so that we can implement? And if we do have those materials, are we able to effectively implement those materials so that our students can be successful? This next chart here goes over student enrollment by other student subgroups. So we have data on students with disabilities. It's going to be in gray. We have limited English proficiency in green. In blue, we're going to have our students that are economically disadvantaged. Our students with disabilities have increased since the 2017-2018 school year. Our economically disadvantaged students have decreased, and our limited English proficiency students have increased throughout the years. This next piece of information shows data for our staff. based on race and ethnicity. So here we have our subgroups on the bottom, and we also have, they're also divided out by the different years. So we can see here that our biggest subgroup here are going to be are going to be white, and then that's followed over by black. So we have most of our staff is white, and then second highest is going to be black, and then we have a few staff members that are Hispanic, and then multiracial is going to come at the end. Some important questions that this raises is, does lack of diversity in school personnel impact student learning? And how can we diversify our staff members? This next slide goes over our staff, the years they have of experience. So we have 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. This first chart here, 2017, 2018, as you can see here, we have teachers that have less than 1 year of experience are going to be in blue. Then we have teachers that have 1 to 10 years of experience are in orange, and teachers that have 11 and 20 years of experience are going to be in gray. That's in 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019. The number of teachers that have 1 to 10 years of experience goes up to 50, and then less than 1 year are going to be is up to 6 in blue, and then the 11 to 20 years of experience are from our staff, they go down to 25%. Most recently, 2020, 2021, we have our teachers that have 1 to 10 years of experience goes back down to 47. Our less than 1 year of experience stays at 6%, and then the gray teachers that have experience from 11 to 20 years stays at 25%. So this is our data from the Georgia milestones. So this has data from 2017 and 2018. We have data from 2018, 2019, and 2020, 2021. So here we take a look at Mapleton's milestone scores as compared to Cobb counties. We can see that Mapleton is consistently performing much lower as a school than the district, with only 15% of our students performing at a proficiency level as compared to 26% of Cobb County students in the 2020-2021 school year. Slide. Here we have some of our strengths. So in summary, some strengths are that our data is so that we have consistent retention of teachers with 1 to 10 years of experience. We have consistent student enrollment, and that our school is STEAM certified. Some areas of weakness that we should consider when moving forward are that we have low teacher diversity, we have inconsistent proficient performance levels in the last 3 years, and our proficient and developing levels are below district levels across all 3 years. Now that we have dug through our data, I have a few questions that I would like you to discuss. How can we increase proficient performance levels? How can we increase developing levels? How can we diversify our staff? After you've had a chance to discuss these questions with a group or a partner, we need you to create a plan that addresses the identified weaknesses. Make sure in your discussion to select a method to collect and analyze student work. Please, without hesitation, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you so much today for joining me in our overview data meeting. I hope you all have a great day.